there are still Hamas militants inside of Israel carrying out attacks. This is unlike anything we have ever seen. It's certainly unlike anything Israel has seen in the past 50 years since the Yom Kippur War. The USS Gerald R. Ford, one of the most modern aircraft carriers in the world, the U.S.'s most modern aircraft carrier, is headed now into the eastern Mediterranean as a show of force and a show of solidarity with Israel. Congressman Mark Alford is with us of Missouri. Congressman, it's one thing to send weapons. It's another thing to send an aircraft carrier battle group. What is the chance, as the general was talking about earlier, of this turning into a regional war where the United States doesn't have a choice but to get involved?
Leland, we don't have a choice at all, but rather to back the IDF and the state of Israel. We are tied at the hip, tied in a common bond of democracy and freedom. The thugs, the terrorists that you saw going through these homes, taking captive these women and children, shooting grandmothers in the head. These are not militants. These are terrorists. These are thugs. They're the scum of the earth, and they need to be eradicated. This is the time now. I am so sick of pussyfooting around this entire thing about whether they're militants or terrorists. These are terrorists. Hamas needs to be eradicated from the face of the earth. Look, I don't want to get into a global war. We've got to show strength, though, Leland.
Yeah, no, look, I understand the point, and I've been in and I've covered Gaza wars where that was not the stated goal, where the Israelis themselves sort of wanted to reach a détente with Hamas because of the cost of taking them out, right? And they let the bully get stronger and stronger and stronger. Then we saw what's happened over the past 40 hours, and now you've got gunmen from Hamas running around inside of Israel. This is something the Israelis even didn't think was possible, and now you have this promise from the Israeli government to wipe Hamas out. Whether they follow through on it or not, we don't know. My question for you is not so much whether we support Israel, because there seems to be universal support for that, at least among a general consensus in the United States and in the U.S. government. But you have a U.S. carrier battle group now in the heading to the eastern Mediterranean. What do you put as the possibility that it's not just a show of support, that the United States may have to get involved, as it's come close to having to get involved before?
Well, I would hate to see that happen, but let's face it, the Iron Dome did not work. Hamas overpowered with their thousands and thousands of rockets. Hezbollah has 100,000 rockets ready to go. They've already taken out a satellite installation. We have no choice but to defend Israel. Israel is our closest ally in the Mideast. They are brothers and sisters. And so sending an aircraft carrier with F-16s, F-35s, and other assets is only going to show strength and unity and brotherhood, that we have Israelis' backs. I don't know where this is going to lead.
We can draw a pretty clear line, right, that Iran was behind this. Iran trains, arms, funds Hamas. So Iran is in a proxy war with Israel. Would you go as far as to say Iran is in a proxy war with the United States right now?
They have been for a long time, and yet this president gave over $6 billion. It's in the process of going back to Iran's coffers. Now, the Democrats in the White House will say, oh, wait a minute, this is not going, it's still in a bank account. That's all BS. I know the President of the United States.
Yeah, I know the accounting argument. I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you hopping on a Sunday. We're going to be talking over this week, and there's going to be a lot of questions between the way the United States deals with hostages, whether or not we negotiate, because there are Americans now involved, and how the Israelis deal with hostages. And caught in the middle is going to be the IDF now trying to eliminate Hamas inside of Gaza. Congressman Mark Alford, thank you very much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.